In this video, I'll show you the best-selling low-content books on Amazon that's making thousands of dollars a month. I'll show you exactly what you're doing to become so successful and how you can apply it to your Amazon KDP business. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean. I built two multiple six figures a year Amazon KDP businesses. So if you want no BS publishing advice from someone who's actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. All right, so in this video, I basically compiled the best-selling low-content books on Amazon right now, and we're just gonna go and analyze and see what they're doing and see what we can learn from it. Starting with this book right here, How to Heal an Anxious Attachment Style. This is a self-therapy journal to conquer anxiety and become secure in relationship. So anxious attachment niche is actually a big niche that's becoming more and more popular nowadays. I know this because I watch relationship videos to improve my own relationship. I feel like I'm more on the avoidance side of things, but these attachment style topics are becoming more popular. It's trending more, right? So this is a journal for that. And this book is doing $321 to $445 every single day. That is a significant amount. That means this book is doing over 10K per month just from this one book. And if you're wondering how I see this number right here, I have a tool called BookBeam. It's a pretty good tool. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. Anyways, going back to this book, right? So this book is doing really well, 10K per month, and it only has 74 reviews. The brand name or the author name is I Mind Spirit, like it's not even a person. It has no author bio or nothing, not even an author picture, right? So it kind of makes me feel like this is a pen name. You know, do they even have a brand established authority outside? Not too sure. We're going to go and take a look. But this book is selling at $22. Because it's a higher content journal, there's a lot of prompts and stuff inside. They can sell it for a much higher price, and they're making a significant amount of royalties per sale for this. So I looked up I Mind Spirit, and there's a lot of social media accounts that they started and their own website that showed up, but you don't see the person behind this brand. And based on how they're running the website and stuff, it does seem like this is someone who saw Amazon KDP as an opportunity publishing these journals, and they came in with a e-commerce background, right? So they probably have an e-com background because of the things that they're doing. It looks like they're really knowledgeable with e-com. They built out a product, they built out their website, and then they went hard with social media marketing. Specifically, they have their TikTok account right here, a lot of followers, and these are the videos that they are posting. So there is no face behind this, right? So once again, this is a no face brand, right? That's doing Amazon KDP. So you can also do the same thing without showing your face and be this successful, because these videos, I mean, this is typical e-com stuff, right? So, you know, people who do e-commerce, sometimes you get UGC videos, like user generated content. Like if you have some video editing skills, you can create these videos, right? And then you just push to your product, which is the book. So this is something that we can also easily apply to what we're doing, because it's not an authority figure coming in to Amazon KDP, right? The person doing this behind the scenes is just a normal person, just like you and me, right? They just have a little more e-commerce knowledge, I would say. The cool part about this is I looked up their book on Helium 10 Cerebro, which is a great way to see if they're running ads or not. And this book is not running ads. It says 0 in the paid keyword, which means they're not running ads. So all the money that they're making is pure profit, except for however much they're paying for their video editor to create these, you know, short form content. But this tells us that you don't have to run ads to make money with KDP. And this is their website. So once again, this looks like, you know, one of those Shopify themed website, right? So it's, you know, there's a template that you can just use to fill out something like this, especially this section right here, the reviews section, and also some of these UGC content that's loading right now. You can pay someone literally like 10-20 bucks to get videos like this. Super easy. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, if I would break down the entire business model, step one is to create a series of books that's high quality in a niche that is in demand, right? So once again, like I said, attachment style, self-help or self-therapy journals is a trending topic right now. So this brand identified that and then created a series of books, because you want more than one book to sell. From there, once you have the product, the next thing is to get as many people to it, which is the marketing side of thing, getting traffic, right? And they chose social media marketing as a traffic source. They probably have a team of VAs, like Filipino VAs, making a bunch of these videos, right? You just order your book, send it to someone, and, you know, they can create these UGC videos once in a while too. But besides that, it's just, you know, simple videos. It can be a clip of someone else's videos like this. And in the end, you always push people to buy your book as the solution to the problem. And once you start getting traffic, people will go to your Linktree link, which is this one. And from there, they can go to your shop or buy your books, right? But even if they click on buying the book and they go to the shop, right? They just have buy physical here, which just redirects to Amazon. So they're using Amazon as the fulfillment of the paperback version, which is what I recommend, because I don't recommend you do this yourself. It's way too much work. So let Amazon do the printing and shipping of your product. I think that's the best way. But here's the thing. Amazon doesn't like you selling ebook version, the digital version of a journal, but you can actually make extra money if people do want to buy, ebook or digital version of the journal. So you can click on that here, and the digital version is actually fulfilled right on the website, which makes sense because digital version is just a PDF, right? Probably. So that's instant delivery, super easy. Once again, with a Shopify theme, you can do that. So that's the whole funnel. And you can apply this with many different niches. Self-therapy journal is just one trend. You can do this with many different things. Even if you're doing coloring books, right? It's the same concept. If it's a physical copy, send it to Amazon. Digital copy, you can sell it on your own website if you want to. But honestly, I would only do this website strategy. Like I would only create my own website if my main traffic source was social media marketing. If I'm heavily relying on Amazon ads, then I would just focus on Amazon, because no one's gonna go from Amazon ads to somehow clicking outside to your website, right? Only if your social media marketing effort is paying off, most of your traffic is coming from social media, then yes, building your website makes sense. All right, so that was the first book. I spent way too much time analyzing that book because we got a lot more to go, but this is the second one, right? Everything you need to know when I'm gone. This is a after death planner. Okay, this is a very straightforward one, doing $75 to $90 a day. So that's a couple $1,000s a month. So that book is doing good. But what I wanted to show you is this one, which is Sorry It's Your Problem Now Because I'm Dead. So this is also a end of life planner, but it has the funny kind of, lighthearted quote at the beginning, which, adding this lighthearted twist to something, kind of a sad topic of someone dying, is making it a pretty popular book, right? 13 reviews, bestseller, $54 to $73. So it's, $1,500 a month or so. And this is a very easy book to create. I like these gag gift type of books because by adding humor to it, you can kind of, go into a competitive niche and kind of stand out because it's just a funny book, right? So this is something that if you're just getting started, I would recommend going into niches like this. They're running a little bit of ads, checking on Cerebro, but not so much. But what can we learn from this? To be honest, marketing wise, not much, right? What we can learn from this is positioning. So like I said, there was another, end of life planner book that was really popular, doing really well, right? The one I showed you earlier. But this book came in and is competing with that. With just 13 reviews because its angle, its positioning is a little different. It's funny compared to the other one was just very straightforward. So the next book takes the same approach, right? So this is a things I can't say out loud in meetings. Funny notebook for work, gag gift. So once again, this is a gag gift angle. If you actually look inside, it's probably just a blank line journal, super easy to create. And yet this book is doing around $1,000 a month. And since this is a gag gift, which means it is a very giftable book, like people buy this to give it to somebody else, right? So it does really, really well during Q4. And during December, it went up to like 70 BSR, so made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, which is pretty insane. So if you want to make money during Q4, this is a great angle to go into. This is another example, things I need to write down because I'm old and I forget stuff, right? So just like the last book, the interior is super simple. Like it's just line journals. I'll actually show you inside. It's just blank line journals. Like you can copy paste these pages because there's a lot of templates online and make this in literal like minute, right? 1 minute, and you can make the interior. And the book cover looks like it's created on Canva. So why is this book making over $1,000 a month? Well, it's just because it's funny, right? Ignore the reviews. It's not selling because of the reviews. Well, maybe right now, right? And it sold a lot in the beginning because it's funny. People buy it, just for laughs, right? So if you would make this kind of book, you just want to come up with a clever one-liner that you can put on your book cover. And that is pretty much the whole strategy here. So I guess the biggest takeaway of the past couple books is that being funny sells, right? And thanks to the development of AI, you can come up with these one-liners a lot easier nowadays. So that's something that you can look into. But the next book we have is the Shadow Work Journal. So this book is doing $205 to $299 every single day. So that means it's doing $6,000 to $9,000 a month. And that's what it's doing right now. But this book sold millions of copies. So it made millions of dollars. Now they do not run any Amazon ads. So it looks like this book or this brand is doing the same thing as the first brand, using Amazon as just one, distribution option, but not the entire business, right? Not as a traffic source. Because the reason why this book blew up is because they have a huge TikTok following. So recently these videos are only getting a couple hundred views per video, but they did have some couple viral videos that is just literally talking about the pages. So like this one as an example, this is almost 1 million views, right? And it's just reading one page. That is it, or just flipping through it. And these videos just goes absolutely viral and it sells the book like crazy. So same as the first brand, social media marketing was huge for this one. Now they started off with just this shadow work journal book, but they expanded a lot more into many different things. So now they have a website, right? This is how the website looks. They have multiple books now because once you have something working, obviously you want to milk it as much as possible. It's just how it is, right? So you want to create a brand, create a series. So, you offer more options for people to pay you by creating more products, right? And then now they created their apps. So you can do the same thing by publishing more books, or you can have different offers like having an app. So I don't know how the app works, but this is how it looks like. So they have that on the website. I'm sure the app is making pretty good money, especially if it's a subscription service. You can make money every single month, so that's huge. And perhaps they can sell this brand for like millions in the future. I don't know, or maybe this is it's attached to the author's name, so maybe they can't sell it. I'm not sure. But the biggest takeaway from this brand is when something is working, you want to go as deep as possible, right? Instead of jumping around different niches, you serve the same customer over and over and over by offering more products. Now, in terms of the short form strategy, a lot of these videos are just clips of the podcast. So, that works as well. So this one, they're full on using their face, which works. If you can do that, that's awesome. The first brand did not use their face. So there's both ways of doing this. It's really up to you. The next one is the Her Journal. Harness your feminine energy in 90 days, right? It's exactly the book that I need right now. And this one is doing $134 and $161 a day. So it's making thousands of dollars a month. This book is also not running any ads at all. And the crazy part is it's selling at 29 bucks just because it's hardcover, right? For them to make money, hardcover printing option is more expensive. So they have to price it higher. But despite that, a lot of people buy, a journal for $29. I don't know why they don't do paperback. If they do paperback, I'm sure a lot of people will use that option as well, right? Buy from that option and they'll make more money that way. So having both option, I think is smart, but this is what they're doing. So they're not running any Amazon ads, but how is it making thousands with just 12 reviews? Well, this one is because she is a authority figure, right? She's a social media influencer. So the strategy is the same thing, social media marketing. So at this point, I feel like you can't really dispute the fact that social media is the next big thing. Social media is here to stay. If you're selling, low content books, like these are low content examples, but I feel like the way publishing is moving towards, or the direction it's moving towards, is to build up a social media following in your niche audience or in your niche, right? And then offer a product like a book, whether that's a journal, coloring book, even a how-to book, right? You can do that and it's working really, really well. And really they're just using Amazon as a distribution and fulfillment method. And it's just one option, right? And they have other ways to sell the book as well. So, a lot of people are doing this nowadays. I think just relying on Amazon ads is kind of starting to die off. I think now you gotta juggle Amazon ads, and once social media marketing takes off, eventually you can just do social media marketing and you don't even have to pay to make sales, which is kind of crazy, right? But that's what they're doing. This is this is not a no face brand. They're definitely showing their face, talking about it. It's kind of like me talking on YouTube, right? So if you can do that, that's great as well. The last book is this one, Mom, I Want to Hear Your Story. This is a guided journal that you gift to your mother. So it's really cool because it has the utility aspect of a useful guided journal, but also a giftable aspect of someone buying for their moms, right? So it has two angles that you hit, and it's doing really well, thousands of dollars a day. And what's interesting about this, by the way, I just noticed this, is that this book has been published for 5 years and 8 months. And with BookBeam, I can see the sales trend, or basically, what the bestsellers rank was at certain dates. Never mind. So I guess even with old time, I can only go back to 2024. I was hoping I can see like their first 3 to 4 years of sales, because I'm pretty confident it was like nothing. And then all of a sudden it just blew up. And now they're, one of the best-selling books out there. They were literally #1 bestseller for the past Q4. You can see here, made tens of thousands of dollars. I'm sure they made millions at this point, right? And the craziest thing about this is this book, pretty easy to make. I have some videos talking about this too. So for this brand, they are running some ads, as you can see here. I'm not sure how much they're spending, but at least we know that they're running Amazon ads. But the big one is TikTok. So the whole takeaway, I think, of this video is social media marketing is taking over. and it's getting crazy, especially for some books, right? Certain types of books. And these videos doesn't have to be complicated like this one, just talking about the book. You just order the book, turn on your camera, and you talk about it, right? This one too, you order your book and then you just point the camera and you talk about it. 10 million views, right? This one, same thing, 5 million views. And you just try a bunch of videos, because like a lot of these videos only get a couple hundred views, but when it pops and it goes crazy, right? So that's the whole point of this. They do have a website. It seems like they sell directly from their website as well, which at this point, with their audience size, it makes sense. But they definitely didn't start that way, and I don't recommend you start with a website if you're just getting started, right? Only after your audience is built up on social media or elsewhere. Nowadays social media is king. But once it's built up, then you can go into building a website. But in the beginning, just start with Amazon, because that's by far the most passive and the easiest way. But going back to it, the takeaway for this book specifically is that it is a giftable book. It has a giftable angle. I think that is huge. And also, this book has been out for almost 6 years, but only recently it blew up. So that's the other takeaway, is that if you have books that are not doing well right now, you just never know when it's going to blow up, especially if you continue to market it, right? And especially if you have a good book. Now, if you just have some crappy, book that you just whipped up on Canva or something, no matter how long you wait, it's probably not going to sell, right? But if you have a good book in a topic that people are interested in, with a good cover, good title, and you continue to push it, then something like this could happen. The longer you're in Amazon KDP, the more you realize how lucky you can get and how frequently you can get lucky, right? So it happens to me all the time. The books that I, didn't really think about for years, all of a sudden starts making money. Same with many of my students. As an example, recently, right? One of our student, Dave, his book just took off, ranked #1 in whatever keyword he's in, and he did $55,000, or I think $60,000 around there, in profit last month. Last month is March 2025. So I don't know when you're watching this video, but that was just a couple days ago, because it just turned April right now. But it's just crazy, right? Like, once again, he didn't really do much. That book just took off on its own, and it happens more often than you think. So the longer you're in this business, the longer you don't quit and you just keep pushing, I'm pretty confident one day, eventually, it's gonna happen to you too. By the way, that student Dave, who made $55,000, $60,000 in a month, is now one of our coaches in my Amazon KDP program. So a lot of our students who did extremely well, we recruit them into working with us. So we have a couple coaches that used to be students, now they're coaching, right? So if you want to potentially work with us and have us help you scale your Amazon KDP business to the next level, then I do have a complete coaching program, which is the first link in the description below. If you click on it, it looks like this. You can check out the testimonials, you can check out what's included. You can watch the video to see what is included as well. And then if you're interested in learning more, then you want to click on apply to join here, and you can book a free 30-minute strategy call. From here, you can ask us any questions you want. We will also ask you questions. If it's a good fit, you can join. If not, no problem. And you can go from there. Now, keep in mind, this is a paid coaching program, right? The call itself is free, but it's a free call to see if our paid coaching program is a good fit for you. So it's not a free coaching call, right? Unfortunately, we cannot do that. But once you join, it comes with one-on-one coaching, the full video course, community, and a bunch more stuff. So it's basically a course coaching hybrid offer, producing a crap ton of results. I think we have more success stories than any other publishing courses out there. And I honestly think that is the case. But once again, guys, if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend for your publishing business. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.